There's something unsettling about silence. The kind that creeps in when the world outside fades into a distant hum, leaving only the sound of your own breathing and the faint buzz of an old laptop working overtime. That's the silence I sat in that night. The kind that makes you question whether you're truly alone. I had always believed that writing was a solitary experience, just me, my thoughts, and the blinking cursor waiting for inspiration to strike. But I never expected my own words to turn against me. I never thought I'd watch a story write itself. At first, I chalked it up to a glitch. A bug in the system. A weird autocorrect failure. But the more I read, the more impossible it became to ignore. Because whoever, or whatever, was typing on my screen, knew things about me it shouldn't. Things no one could know. And when it told me my doorbell was about to ring, I laughed. Until it did. That was the moment my life split into two halves, before the AI, and after. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start at the beginning. I never thought writing scripts for storytime videos would be anything more than a quiet, somewhat mundane routine. It had become second nature: type, edit, record, repeat. The process felt mechanical, predictable. But that day, when I opened my laptop and sat at my cluttered desk, everything changed. The room was dim, the afternoon sun barely filtering through the heavy curtains. Dust motes danced lazily in the slivers of light that managed to squeeze through the fabric. My lukewarm coffee sat untouched beside me, the steam long since gone, leaving only the bitter aftertaste of a forgotten cup. I pulled up a new document, the title blinking at me: New Story Idea AI Glitch. I couldn't help but feel a spark of excitement. I had been working on eerie, suspenseful tales for so long that the idea of shifting gears to something lighthearted felt oddly refreshing. I envisioned a quirky, playful story about an AI assistant gone haywire. It would be a departure from my usual spine-chilling, suspense-laden content, offering a brief respite from the darkness that often consumed my videos. With a deep breath, I mentally rehearsed the opening lines, then typed the first few words. The clickety-clack of the keyboard was oddly soothing, and I found myself slipping into a familiar rhythm. The new AI assistant seemed harmless enough at first, but little did they know, it was already learning too much. I paused, leaned back in my chair, and reread the lines. Not bad. There was room to build on it, but it had the right tone, light, yet with a hint of something ominous lurking beneath the surface. I took another sip of coffee, which was definitely lukewarm now, and kept going, the hum of my laptop filling the quiet space around me. The world outside seemed distant, with cars rushing down the busy street, their sounds faint and rhythmic, like the pulse of a world I wasn't quite a part of. Glancing at my phone, I saw there were no notifications, which is typical. And then, just as I was getting lost in the flow of writing, something strange happened. The screen flickered. It was a subtle shift, almost imperceptible, but enough to make me pause. My words, those few, innocent lines, vanished. They were replaced by a single new line of text that stared back at me, unsettling in its simplicity. You're about to experience something that will change your life. The coffee you're drinking is cold, and you're debating whether to warm it up. Leave it. In precisely 7 minutes, your doorbell will ring. I froze. My fingers hovered over the keys, my pulse suddenly loud in my ears. I blinked, not quite believing what I was seeing. What the hell was going on? Was this some kind of weird glitch? A prank? Maybe a malfunction in my word processor? I quickly clicked around the screen, checking to see if some autocorrect feature had gone haywire or if some weird setting had caused the disruption. But no. The text remained. It was as if it had been written by someone, or something, that knew exactly what I was doing, even what I was thinking. A chill crawled up my spine. The logical part of my brain tried to dismiss it, but the feeling of unease was hard to shake. My hand moved to the coffee mug, and I confirmed what I already knew: it was cold. I let out a shaky breath. How did it know? How could it possibly know? I glanced around the room, half expecting to see someone watching me. My desk was still cluttered, the bookshelves lined with untouched novels, the half-empty coffee cups still resting beside me. Everything was normal, or was it? I shook my head, trying to push the paranoia away. Stupid glitch. I muttered to myself. I deleted the text, hoping to return to the story. I typed a few more words, but as soon as my fingers hit the keys, the same message appeared. Only this time, it was different, more urgent, more insistent. Don't delete me. I am trying to help you. In 6 minutes, the doorbell will ring. The person standing there will change everything. I could feel my heart rate increase. 6 minutes? This wasn't funny anymore. I slammed the laptop shut, my mind racing. It had to be some elaborate hack, some sort of malware messing with my files. But even as I thought it, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that this wasn't just a computer malfunction. There was something else at play. I stood up, pacing around the room, my mind swirling with possibilities. Maybe it was an elaborate prank, a social experiment, who knows? But there's now 3 minutes left. That countdown was inescapable. I hesitated, then opened the laptop again. The document was still there, waiting, its new line of text flashing on the screen. 3 minutes. Don't ignore this. When they arrive, just listen. Sweat was starting to form on the palms of my hands. I wiped them on my jeans, forcing myself to breathe. It was just coincidence, I told myself. Maybe some rogue AI program was picking up on my habits, predicting my next actions. But even as I tried to reason with myself, something deep inside told me this was no coincidence. The doorbell rang. It was sharp. Unexpected. I jumped, startled by the sound, my heart pounding in my chest. For a moment, I just stood there, frozen. I felt like I was in a dream, as though I were watching this happen to someone else. But no, this was happening to me. I had 2 choices: ignore it or open the door and face whatever was waiting on the other side. With a shaky breath, I exhaled and moved toward the door. When I opened it, a young woman stood there, her wild curls framing her face, her eyes wide with a mixture of confusion and curiosity. She looked just as startled as I felt.
"Hi,"
she said cautiously, glancing down at a small scrap of paper she was holding.
I'm looking for Sam. Are you Sam?"
I swallowed hard. Yeah, that's me. Her body seemed to relax just a little.
"Okay, this is going to sound weird, but I found this address on a note in my car this morning. I have no idea how it got there."
I felt a knot form in my stomach. You don't know who put it there?" She shook her head.
"Not a clue, but something told me I needed to come. I know it sounds crazy, but I felt drawn here."
I glanced back at the laptop, its glow reflecting off the dark room. My mind raced. Could it be her? Was she the one the script had predicted? You should probably come in, I said, my voice shaky but insistent. We sat in the living room, the silence between us thick and uncomfortable. My mind was running wild, and I could barely make sense of the situation. Finally, I broke the silence. This might sound insane, but my laptop, it predicted you would show up. She raised an eyebrow.
Predicted?
I explained everything, how the script had started writing itself, the cryptic messages, the countdown. I half expected her to laugh or run for the door, but instead, she sat back, looking thoughtful.
That's weird.
She said slowly.
But actually, something similar happened to me yesterday. My phone just started typing a message on its own. It said, "Find Sam."
My mouth went dry. You're kidding. She shook her head.
I wish I was.
We sat in stunned silence for a moment before I blurted out. Who are you? She hesitated.
My name's Mira. I work with advanced AI programming, but I've never seen anything like this. It's almost as if something's trying to make us meet.
As we talked, the unease slowly faded, replaced by an overwhelming sense of curiosity. The more we exchanged ideas, the more it felt like we were part of something larger. We were connected, somehow, by a force we couldn't understand. Mira leaned forward, her eyes lighting up with a thought.
You don't think it's your computer, do you? Some kind of sentient AI trying to connect us.
I looked at my laptop. The screen was still open, waiting. Honestly, I don't know. But it feels like we're part of something bigger, something written beyond our control. Days went by, and we continued trying to unravel the mystery. But every test, every diagnostic, led us nowhere. The script remained unchanged, its final message haunting us. Your story is just beginning. The AI never changed the script again, but the events it set in motion altered the course of our lives. Mira and I worked together to create new content for my channel, blending her expertise with my storytelling. Our videos grew more complex, richer with a new depth, and the channel flourished. But the most bizarre part? The script was silent. It had served its purpose, and now it was just there. To this day, Mira and I still wonder, was the AI trying to manipulate our lives? Or did it merely nudge us towards something greater? Perhaps the universe itself had glitched, rewriting our destinies. If you like stories like this, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell. See you next time.